All right. Okay. What I'm gonna do today is I'm doing some expansion testing for Itza Lizard Folk with the Warhammer expansion. I have finally found a game for them, and Pretender Design is due like today or tomorrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and knock out some expansion testing, and then talk Pretender Design, see if get any other opinions in in the chat here. So with no further, I guess I'll go ahead and show what I'm currently running with the god actually real quick. You can see I've already done a bunch of these, but I'm trying to work my way through them. So this is what we're currently running with. It's essentially all the stats minus cold resistance. We have defense skill. Got MR, Reinvig, Undying, Low Light, Poison, and Blood Surge. The idea is to just have very resistant troops that we can let our big Slann casters throw down all kinds of battlefield wipes and other crap, and have our troops sort of avoid taking friendly fire from it and outlast the enemy. And then, with a little bit of defense, a little bit of blood surge, they can kind of hang a little bit. But for those who don't know, and we'll see as we start the expansion, you can't recruit sacreds when you start the game, so it's hard. You don't need a bless for expansion, that's for sure, which is where blood surge I think is potentially a little dicey. But it's a lot of stats. We're hoping to be doing a lot of damage to opponents through various spells. So we'll go ahead and we'll start this testing just with no major enemy. This is just a generic map nuke map. So I'm not going to go through every unit. I did that in the other video. But we're going to play with this pretender for now. And just go ahead and run it. Okay. So what I have found is that your best expansion unit is the Saurus Cavalry. But it feels like a pretty big margin. These guys are pretty awesome. Your Saurus Warrior is really low prot and defense, and so they take a lot of attrition. They have more health than a human, and they do have 2 attacks, so they're kind of killy, although one is length 0. But I found that they tend to take a lot of attrition. These guys will take horrific attrition. These are all too expensive. You can't recruit our Sacred yet. Attrition. These guys are also okay. They're kind of similarly priced, although they cost no resources at all. But generally, you only get resource hung up on these on the very first turn. So what I like to do is go with one of our mages to get the ball rolling, and then start as many cavalry as we can. So we're going to get 5. You can see we're 1 resource off. I like this guy to be the prophet, just so that he can do Sermon of Courage and then do some smites. You don't have any sacreds early, so who's the prophet is not very relevant, and you have holy 3s that travel with all your armies in the form of your Slann, so having your prophet be around later is also not like terribly relevant. You can also recruit scouts in any province. I've also tested with getting 2 scouts, and you can do that, but you can get scouts anywhere. So with this nation, so I don't think that's necessary. Mercenaries or whatever. On this particular map, in this particular spawn, we've got this really annoying river complex. Because the best land for us would be this farmland, and we want to make sure we secure forests, as we have recruit in forests. Okay. So I like to combine these in the back, here, and like here. What you really want to have, that I found, is these guys can take a hit. They have 18 hit points, they've got a little bit of defense, they got a little bit of protection, they have a second form, so they can take a good sized hit. They even have recuperation, so I kind of like the first little wave to hit them, and then these guys fill in. These are size 4 and these are size 2, so they fight really well together. If these guys take the whole brunt of the first hit, they will you'll take more attrition. So it kind of depends which indies we're against, but this is about the right split. And I like to do double sermon, and then just cast our smite, and then everyone is on hold and attack closest. And I found that this can kill just about anything. The real question is, what I like to do for a second party is something like this. So we're going to get 5 Saurus and a Saurus Old Blood, 5 Saurus Cavalry. Is think about what that 5 group can take and what they can't, and then go from there. Like, they can take this, they can definitely take this. They can, I mean, we'll see. They can take a lot of, they're pretty good. The most annoying part of this map is just this spawn, is this river. But I think in a real game I would go north here to try and get these. So that's what we'll do here. Recruit up a second party. Oh, research. So this is also something that I'm trying to figure out. So this nation feels, I don't know, like rush bait, but very, very strong late game, and I think your neighbors don't really want you alive, and there's a lot of pieces that you have to put together to get fully functional armies. Because like when we think about our mate, like our big mage, right, our Slann, I guess this is the small Slann, but he can cast, right, you're going to auto commune up, he's got every path practically, just missing death and blood, so you're going to be able to cast pretty much every big spell you can dream of. But the first sort of big spells that you can cast are all the way down in like enchantment 5, right, is foul vapors, because you're going to be, a lot of your stuff has a little bit of native poison resistance, and we put more on the sacreds. So you can do foul vapors is awesome, but you're probably going to get attacked before you get there. We don't have an awake researcher or anything. What I have currently speculated is that if you get attacked on like turn 10 or 11, right, you're really not going to have a functional Slann outside of your capital because you need him there to recruit your sacreds. You're going to be working with instead either your skink priests, which are these paths, or the recruit anywhere, or recruit in forest skink priests, which have about the same paths. I think they also can get fire maybe. And I think that what those guys are going to do best is put luck on your units. And some of them will do Moss Body. And I think that's one of the best things you're going to be able to do in terms of defending yourself. The other one that I would go for, I think, depending on the enemy, is Sulfur Haze, because your Slann can cast it. But I'm open to suggestions on research priorities. But anyway, continuing with the expansion, looks like I let my guys get too close this time. So again, we're going to do double sermon. Fast forward for a second here. We want the cavalry to get in there first, but instead, some of them got in first, but the middle, they didn't really make it. The cavalry are just better at taking hits and don't die as much. So, but they're going to, again, we pack a huge number of attacks per square in this nation. One of these guys is 3, and each little guy is 2. So there's either 6 attacks with all the little guys, or 5 attacks on the full stack. So this is a lot of heavy cav. This is probably too much heavy cav. 70 units with heavy cav as the #1 thing is more than we can more than we can take. The station's expansion, I think, can handle a lot, but that is too much. But this little group, right, just 5 of these cavalry should be enough to take this. And then we're going to do another set of those. See, we have foreign recruits, particularly, right, we've got these mages. And then you can use the skinks for raiding later. But you can maybe try and fit these things in an expansion to expand a little bit faster. But you kind of run out of money really fast on this nation. So, like, I don't know that you really need to be doing that, because we need to, in expansion, right, produce, I think, 1 extra fort. Our forts cost 900 gold to start, plus 450 to finish the fort, plus 600 for the temple, and 400 for the lab, so they're insanely expensive. We need to hire one of these chunky boys at 700 gold, so that we can start getting our sacreds online. And we want to produce extra labs, because we can foreign recruit in forests and swamps. So we just have a ton of things to use our our money on, and it makes it pretty difficult, I think, to want to mix in sort of mediocre additional expansion party stuff. But let's see. So here's our original group again. Fast forward. This time our cav gets out mostly in front of it. You can see we just chop right through stuff. We're amongst the archers. There they go. So that's all good. Okay, yeah, I'll show the bless again. Okay, so this is what we're running with on the bless. Shock resistance, poison resistance, fire resistance, defense, reinvig, MR, undying, blood surge, and dark vision. The basic idea of the bless is to produce a very strong a front line that will hold while we kill people with giant battlefield magic. Is sort of the general idea. They also will take point buffs pretty well. And then we can also do the dark vision is on there. We can do stuff like solar eclipse. I've tried some other versions of the build where we took swamp survival and spirit sight for better usage of the darkness and quagmire. But I don't think I could fit it in. Each of those was costing me like a whole darn scale, which is just too much. I don't know if we watched this one yet. So here we got just five cavalry and one of our little generals. And they're just going to smash into these dudes and just absolutely chop through them. It looks like we did lose one, which is pretty unlucky. They usually do better than that. Yeah, we did lose one, but so be it. The other thing, we do want to try and hold on to these guys. These are going to be our big generals. He's got a heroic ability. And so we don't want them, like, we don't want to have to recruit more, right? Like, if we can get, oops, not that one. If we can get away with however many we get away with in expansion, that's nice. Barbs are dangerous. Let's see. They have very, very good map move as well. So let's do this. Second group. Just going to attack closest. We're gonna go kill these deer tribe, I think. These are not too hard, but there says there's heavy cav in here, which is a little dangerous. You guys are also pretty good at combining where necessary. We just have tons and tons of movement. This guy's moving at 20. And they have forest survival. So that's pretty nice. Hold on 1 second. I think my dog just figured out how to open the door. Oh. He did indeed figure out how to open the door. But that situation has now been resolved. Alright, so we'll keep scouting with our guy, whatever. So it's turn 4. I don't know that we're going to watch all of these forever, but just as a show of how it goes. You can get kind of whacked by arrows sometimes. They decided different people were the closest, which also is bad, but we got them. Sometimes these dudes get, if they get too far ahead, they can get picked off. They don't, teamwork people. So, it'd be nice to experience fewer losses. You could go, certainly if you recruit 2 turns, you'll have way fewer losses and attrition. But, this guy's, oh no, quick! Uh-oh. That is how you lose a party for sure. Whoa, that was lucky. Whew. See, if we just clicked on it, we never would have known how close that was to disaster. I've got an arena. I think this group can take this, though, without issue. Should be able to take that. Normally, if I had bothered to fix it, this would be a throne, so we wouldn't be able to just take this, but so be it. It's just a little testing. Take this. Usually I start to combine once I run out of other provinces to take. But for now, we've got horse tribe. This guy can go eat the horse tribe, I think. Alright, so 200 gold this turn. We're recruiting another set. I think we're going to leave it like this. I'm going to send... I still haven't decided exactly what the precise order is yet. I think that what I want to do is get my Slan online first. He's 700, so let's just... Sorry, we're not quite there yet. So I think we're going to send out one more party, and then we're going to try and get the Slan next turn. For those who don't know or are not familiar, the Slan is going to... While there's a Slan present in your fort, you can hire your sacreds. So these are kind of dangerous. I've lost to the horse tribe before. I mean, they've got lances. Their arrows kind of pick some people off. Our guy's busy staying behind. Yeah, we see we've lost 3 so far, 4 so far. Wow, this is actually really bad. We are going to take them. You can see, though, how the second form does help you keep fighting on, but very Pyrrhic victory at best. The second form does not survive, doesn't come back, so it's a lot of horse tribe. But, I mean, that was 50 horse tribe against 8 guys. So probably in a real game need to be a little more careful of those horse tribe. Here come the heavy cav. And there go the heavy cav. Yeah, we do want our little guys catching against the heavy cav, catching the lances. So they did their jobs admirably. The biggest risk here is just getting overwhelmed on corners. Like we lost one here on the corner. But took him out. This shouldn't be much. This guy is a bit faster. If he sneaks out ahead, he can get himself in some trouble. So that was a quad expand going into turn 6. Now, we are not playing with the constraints of multiplayer in the sense that, like, this stuff is not... if you tried some of this in multiplayer, right, everybody would come and take your head off. Let's get a Slan online. We're going to get this moving out so we can start our secondary labs for research. In this case, I would also definitely look to be building a fortress here. Got 20 barbs, 30 barbs. Go for 20 barbs. How much? This is just the one. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and combine here because he's almost dead. Hold an attack. Actually, we'll just send him back home because we're recruiting a Slan and troops and no leader for them, so that's better. This guy... You can see we can almost make it around the river, but not quite. We'll show here. We'll just show them off against some barbs. I don't think I would run them into these barbs in a real game, but just for showing everybody how we do. We'd move our scout back so we can look to start a fortress in the immediate future. I'm bad at remembering PD and testing. To be honest, it's also hard for you. Like, you just have your money is just so tight on this nation. Like, even with this great expansion. We lost 1 Saurus to kill 30 guys. This one, we lost 4. Oh, this is okay, so we can see, here we are against barbs. It sort of goes, I think, how you'd expect, right? Barbs have big, scary weapons. They're going to cut us down at the corners until we eventually can sort of make our way through them. But the morale on these units is very good, 16. So that's why they hang on so long. The commander's even higher, 17. So running them right into barbs by themselves, not a great idea. Killed a whole bunch with no losses. Here we killed 25 barbs with some more losses. So sort of how how barbs go. I think we're gonna skip the war elephants. I think those are probably bad news for us. We got 2 left. Bloodhenge druids are bad news. I don't think that we can win this fight, but we can try. Back in the front. Attack closest. We'll take these out now. This is just one guy. Still got a little party. Go here. I mean, you can honestly just like click on stuff with this. So here, we're gonna go ahead and recruit a little bit less so that we can start our insanely expensive palisade. I think there's some question in a real game whether or not you can get this palisade. So it's turn 7. Like, I've been spending too much time in the like the tier list threads of if you can't fend off a sacred rush on turn 10, your nation's trash. It's got me shook. But in a lot of games, right, you're gonna be able to defend this until it gets set up, I think, on turn 13. Particularly in like a modded game, right? People are usually not optimized as much. Go ahead and site search here. Pass. Didn't find anything. This one lost. And we only had 3 guys. And you can see we were pretty close. Lost 1 Saurus, Pride of the Heavy Cav. Beat some more Heavy Cav. So Warhammer also, the mod, has these luck independent guys, heroes. So we have a bunch of heroes that we're going to get, I think, regardless of how lucky we are. There are also luck multi-heroes, and we're unbelievably sad that we don't have luck 3 because this is our multi-hero. This 900 gold, just chunky toad on a chair, who is just a tremendous resource, but I just currently can't fit him into the build. So here we're going to try and get all of our... We're going to start recruiting as many Temple Guard as we can. We can keep recruiting Saurus. The other thing we kind of want to recruit, we're sort of moving out of the expansion phase for me now. Like in terms of how many parties we have in a real game, right? Like we're going to be... So we're currently at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We're at 19 provinces on turn 8. In a real game, you're not going to have anywhere else to go unless you're just aggro expanding into somebody, and then you certainly are going to have a war. But I don't think we need to do that. So some other testing I did, 6 of these guys can take 6 PD with one of our little leaders. And so I want to, and they're stealthy. So I want to start getting them set up to do that. To also facilitate that, we can start... This is something you should probably do in a real game that I'm not going to do because there's nobody here, but you can get 30 gold scouts out of literally every province. Which is tremendous for information control. No excuses on this nation for not having scouts out. It will not save me. I will still fail to produce scouts all the time, but there's no excuses. Build a lab. So I'm just going to recruit a couple of these. These are going to be our little leaders for those parties. So if you get the opportunity to attack, right, you can sort of, you're not really elfing somebody per se, but you can do a little alpha strike with your sneaky guys while your big stack sort of marches behind them. 3 months left on this. This guy will probably finish this lab and then go over here. Let's keep killing random stuff. Gorak. I think we're just going to have a patrol. Realistically, he should probably go... go down here and patrol. He comes with some units. Yeah, it seems good. Again, I think we're not going to bother with those elephants. The barbs are also scary. Let's move here. This guy can build the lab. Not the lab, the temple. Victory. You know, we're sending a party of 4 people, and we're taking... This is an easy province, but Still counts. We have 8 Dominion on this build. I really wanted to push it because with the scales that they are, our High Order and 8 Dominion, we can, out of each fort, produce at least 8 of our sacred units, and they're just so impactful for our game plan that I'm a big fan. This game, I would say we're a little behind in getting our other researchers online, right? We have 1,000 gold, but we don't have anybody in position. So let's fix that. Build a couple labs next turn. Keep up our recruitment here. We have a ton of money. I think we're gonna go for second Slan. Okay, we may have less. Yeah, we don't have quite as. Let's go ahead and cancel just a couple of these guys for now. Get our temple online. Kind of just clicking on enemies at this point a little bit. Deer tribe. Yeah, let's move it. All of our guys are cold-blooded though, so this snow is pretty bad. So it's hard. You're gonna be able to take a defensive war first, and I think people are gonna want to attack you. Taking an offensive war in your, the first 10 turns is going to be difficult unless somebody else also has heat, because your units are all cold-blooded. So you are not fans of the heat. This guy goes here. Victory, victory, victory. Oofa. Negative events. Negative events are no fun. Let's build another lab. Let's build another lab. Start recruiting these things again. Those guys stay put. Knights. I guess we'll just preach here for a turn. The goal here, right, is to have this fully equipped so that when our second Slan comes out, he can traverse here. What we'd really like to do from there, and something I've noticed in my testing, is that you actually take a really long time to get any site searching online, because you really want to be site searching with your... Ooh. Oh, these are the Saurus Warriors. Okay, I was like, how do we lose 6 guys to Deer Tribe? But that makes more sense. Our forces did not win this engagement, but we did kill 27 of them. And our commander lived. We won here. Second guy. Unfortunately, they don't have quite as good a move speed. They are floating, which helps, but still going to be a little slow. We're going to send somebody to make sure he's escorted. Put PD in this particular province. These guys are obviously just a huge investment. Can't really afford for them to be walking around not being fully taken care of. So this is the point where you have to decide, I think, so it's turn 11, how likely you are to get attacked. Because what you'd like to do here, I think, so in a real game, you're not going to have these probably, so I'm not going to put more infrastructure on them. I guess I also kind of forgot about all of this infrastructure up here. Or these provinces. Should have gone to get those, but we've got 2 extra labs up producing extra researchers. Those guys are almost as good. If you don't think you need like the next couple turns, I think that it can make sense to get the Slan now. We still have the gold. We're gonna go ahead and upgrade this research. Let's kill some more militia. All right, this guy's going in with just the 2 of him. How many people is Gorax? Gorax, Sinistophians are probably too hard for him. He can march towards those militia. Well, it doesn't really matter. We're at turn 11. Okay, here comes turn 12. We'll do a province count, keeping in mind, right, obviously, as we're watching, that I am not even checking, for the most part, what's in these provinces, besides just, not even scrolling over them, just sort of the eyeball look. So it's turn 12. 2, 3, 4. There's 19 at Itza. That's 31. So I would say that the nation has good expansion. Um, the question is just, can you? It's funny. I hope this was intentional, and I'm sure that it was. When the mod creator put this together, it playing this nation feels like you need to have, the great plan known to you from the lore, because there's a lot of moving pieces. Um, so it's difficult to put everybody together, because you need the Slan, you need all the attendants for the Slan, you need all the units. And a weak I don't. So my experience with expanders is that they're very killable. We can here. So it's turn 12, right? We have 31 provinces. Let's go ahead and just save this for a second and go and take a look at pretenders for the nation, because I don't even know what monsters do we even get. You do get the Draken, which is probably the best monster. I just don't know if you can afford, like, it's tricky. Your scales will be terrible, probably. Like, if you take an awake monster, you need a bunch of Dom. You can drop this. If you have an awake, I'm not the most familiar with the Draken. I think they usually take like reinvigorate or regeneration and like hard skin or something. And then from here, drop luck. It's probably something like this. Yeah, dormant is better. You definitely don't need them to expand. I just don't know, like, what's this guy? The monsters are also not upgraded for the mod, right? Like, if the Chaos Warriors come for this guy, I think he could be in some trouble. Because yeah, you like go dormant and you get magic and like a point of order or something. Now dormant is potentially right. You could be sort of KO'd before he even wakes up. From a unit perspective, +5. Let's see. It's gonna give these guys a lot more natural protection, which is awesome. And regen, they have tiny health pools. I think they round up. They're 16, so they'd round up to 2. Yeah, that's a good point. I think we'd have to, yeah, it's tough because you want to plan for the worst case scenario in terms of who our neighbors are. But a lot of the big, I don't know if maybe you're more familiar with the mod than let's just go back a sec. This is my first game in it, and I definitely am aware that there is, I think a lot of these nations are stronger than vanilla nations. Like, I know Corn is in the game, if that's how you pronounce it. And like, these things obviously look just like absolute monstrosities, but you need a lot of Dom to recruit something like this. I bet these nations don't have like a ton of good turmoil regardless of scales. Like, I wonder how many things they can really mass to come and get you. I believe the game I'm playing in has the Dark Elves, Corn, Slanesh, Itza. I think the Empire is in there. Goldtooth's in there. Skaven, Vampiria, and Athel Loren. But you also, I think you might. Let's see. Let's go back. I just don't know how good the monster is gonna be. I feel like in most games you get the monster and they don't work out. Now you could go for a dormant. I think if I was gonna go dormant, I would get a Titan and not the monster. Let's see. I don't know who the best Titan is for us. Probably one of these things. They don't have any feet, but they don't necessarily need feet. Blood Searcher. Yeah, I mean, I think you could go for a Dormant Titan too, probably. Let's just... Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some chaos. I just don't know how quickly. Maybe it'd be worth expansion testing on the chaos side. I just don't know how quickly they can really get you. So let's take a look at what we have, what my plans are to fight the chaos. So I think my early research, right? I don't think the dwarves are in here. So like early research goals, we're gonna be able to trying to put luck on our 3 squares, and moss body, and then our slan, if they're not poison resistant, we can drop big sulfur haze clouds, that we're immune to. So like I think that is potentially helpful. Other options, I don't think I mean, Legions of Steel does work on our guys, but it's the only thing. I don't think we were going immediately for construction. We want enchantment in a big way. We can't get enchantment 5, I think, before we get rushed. So I think it's the second. The sacred of the dwarves sacreds are. Let's look at the dwarves. I don't know the dwarves very well. But I get the dwarves. Luckily, I get sounds like luckily for us, the dwarves are not in here. The Rune Guard. Formation Fighter. Hello, welcome. They're a little bit fire resistant. They come with a magic weapon, 14 attack, 20 damage. 21 prot, 14 defense. They are pretty scary. Yeah, and you just throw the casual resist plus on them. Oh yeah, glad you can make it. I don't it's hard to stream a lot of Dominions. It just, isn't a game that always lends itself to that. They have half upkeep. It has a quarter upkeep. Okay. So yeah, you could fit 4 of these guys in a square. They definitely look like they could kill a lot of stuff. Only 1 attack though, but with four of them in a square, that matters less than it normally does. Yeah, they look scary. Are they the only one? Oh, there's another one. Valkyrie, some cold resistance. No. Oh, they're good against demons. Okay. Well, let's go back to Itza real quick. Helpless predator lizard. Yeah. Your stuff is really expensive. Like I don't know if you take. Let's just, I don't know like what a real Dormant Titan pretender build is, but like let's just yeah, blitzing. I did the one. Just did the one blitz. It's hard to playing for 4 hours of Dominions 5 in a row is like a lot of Dominions. It definitely was more difficult than I thought it would be. Let's just pretend we want something like this and do we're gonna spend a lot of blessed points, whatever, make it dormant. What can we get? Drop that, do this, drop this. We're plus, like, this is very similar to the scales I'm playing with on my scales build, or my other build. This has got 1 less point of growth, or 1 less point of magic, which is not like the end of the world. 1v1 blitzes make a lot more sense. I have to figure out how to do those. A friend and I have been meaning to do one, but I just haven't. Oh yeah, definitely a different meta. I haven't managed to actually put together the pieces. I'm not a Titan expert, so don't come after me on this. So like you could do something like this. We're gonna get the fire and shock resistance. We're gonna get regeneration. This is gonna give us. Let's see. What do we not have? It's gonna make our communions a little bit harder in some senses because we're going to have a lot less, we're going to have 2 less reinvigoration on the little guys. We still have the fire resistance, shock resistance, don't have a defense skill. That's probably fine. Idol of Fertility. Which one of these is that? Idol of Fertility? I'm not sure who that one is. That sounds like it should be one of these, but it's not. But Idol of Fertility Titans of Serpents and Monsters. Rain. All right, we'll come back to that. I'm not sure which one the Idol of Fertility is, but yeah, this is by no means like the ultimate choice. Yeah, you absolutely need all the growth you can get. I think the other build that I was sort of playing around with, the Great Mother. Okay, got it. The build that I started looking at is this guy who has the 1 growth, and you do have access to Blood Nature Mages. No worries. I forget names literally all the time. You have access to Blood Fecundity, so you can stack up your key provinces with the extra growth, and it's sort of a matter of what else to get rid of. I really like the magic. Your researchers by themselves are not good. If we sort of look at what our research options are, you really, this is your best researcher. He's 9 research for 100 gold sacred, which is like fine, but definitely wants magic scales, and you can recruit these shamans for 60 gold out of every forest and swamp, which you want to be doing. So like I really think you want magic on the nation. You need a little bit of some amount of the order to keep your get your troops. Like you can dump this. Let's try Great Mother. Maybe it's tricky. So you have recruit anywhere sacreds, and so but you start making them a lot later than everybody else because you need a slot online. So it's tough. Let's see. Let's do this. Dump this. Pick this up. I think I said I wanted like 5, 7. So this, is already. I think the other one was actually cheaper. Now the Great Mother may be stronger. She has her own regeneration. How much does she cost versus the others? She's 270, and this is it's only 260. What? I must have had something else different. Oh, there we go. The heat. The summonable sacreds are also very cool, but again, they don't come until level 5 on a path. And I think I think if you've made it to level 5 on a path, you are past the point where you need one of these critters. A gauntlet would be cool. Yeah, so this is the Idol of Fertility version. Fire Shock. Regen, probably. So you're giving a defense skill. I'm just thinking through it again. MR. So MR hurts a little bit. You can cast. Where are my stupid units? There they are. They only have 11 MR, and again, you can cast anti-magic, so they go up to 15, but a little bit extra would help. Death, a lot of, I think that you don't really need that. You're missing the poison resistance. You're going to be relying on regen and casts of the poison resistance. Now, maybe, oh, yeah. So what I did, here, well, let me finish this thought, and we'll look at the rainbow again. Your guys have a tiny bit of their own poison resistance. They got 3. I don't know if that is enough to keep them up while you have regen. That probably is worth testing. Missing out on the blood is fine. You're missing out on the stats. And you're gonna need this Great Mother to go and kill stuff. So you're gonna need to get construction. What are you casting on her? Probably not conjuration spells. She does her own regen the blast. You could cast regeneration again. Yeah, it's probably enough. She'd have a lot of regen. I just think some of the attacks are so large that people are just gonna punch this person to death. Even through the extra stats. She does not have good prot or defense. But anyway, let's I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure she could. Well, we're going dormant. Oh, dormant. That's what the problem is. All right, I put it. But he had, I was on. I wasn't on. I was on awake. I definitely don't need her awake. I don't think. You don't need her to help expand. You just need her to come online and fight people. That gives us so many more points to work with. Gives us 3 extra scales. This is probably workable. And you just you hope that she wakes up before you're dying. Eh, that seems reasonable. As well as an option. Let's go back to our rainbow though. So in prison rainbow, I was doing this. I think that she'll just die. But I'm not I gotta go watch the Zan Titan video. I am not a Titan expert. So with this I'd go fire resistance, shock resistance, defense. If we're in trouble from the cold, we've already got bigger problems. I liked the double reinvig. That helps our communion a lot. Slot of fast casters, so you can definitely burn through a communion really fast. Undying. Let's back up to what I think it was. Yeah, okay, something like this. Is my current starting point. You could go withering weapons. I don't know about that. I'd have to go check the MR on other people. Poison resistance and low light vision I like. And then I was doing blood surge. So this would be, if you get rid of 2 points of death, you could get 1 extra scale. Which is probably worth it. Do something like, oh, you only need to get rid of 1. And do this. Again, because I think we're going to try and do we're going to try and do our, yeah, that's why I like the Undying. I hadn't really considered withering weapons before. Yeah, no, Undying is really nice. I think it's sometimes underrated. I'm just wondering if like there's really elite enemies, maybe you can withering weapons them to death. But before, what I had was definitely just Undying 4 times. You can also cast personal regeneration to get regen on your guys. And my experience has been, right, if you've got regen, often your big mages will stop casting stuff long enough for anybody who might be in negative HP to regen their way out of it. Which is nice. We're 1 point off. That's a shame. So yeah, this was my original thought. The question is just, can we? Yes, that's exactly. I was just thinking of that. Is that people like our units have ridiculous ages. I would agree with that thought too. Withering weapons is kind of just spoiling the other person's stuff. Like our Temple Guard are 1100 years old with a max age of 10,000. Which is insane. I'm sure like the orcs or something are super short. Maybe the orcs, I don't know. I know a little bit of Warhammer lore. I'm not like super invested. I know orcs and a lot of things tend to have low ages, but maybe not. They're like a fungus or something in Warhammer, I think. So maybe fungus have long lifespans. I think if you believe you can survive the first the first 15 turns, I think that I really like this god. If we can't survive the first bunch of turns, then he obviously doesn't help us because we're already dead. What's happening only in combat? I think these scales are pretty much where you want them. Yeah. I don't know. I can see needing the Titan. Because it's probably a fair statement. Oh, orcs dying. Okay. I'm sure that they have insane max ages then. And I think there is an orc. We do have an enemy orc. Like I suspect that this is a nation that if you do survive the early game, you've got a great chance of winning because of how good your Slann are. So like, maybe this is too greedy. Might be a fair assessment. Even though I really want it. Let's look at. Yeah, the Skaven ought to have really short lives. Let's look at some Skaven. Let's feel better about ourselves here. Maybe they have short lives. Yes, very short. Okay. Their mage lives longer, but he's getting up there. Let's see what that gave the orcs. Yeah, they're super short. Orc Great Shaman, 55 out of 5. This is like sending a 1-year-old into combat. Not even. I mean, yeah. It's funny. What would be if we were gonna go for a Dormant Titan? Which Titan? What are the most? Let's just for giggles here, throw everything on here and see what we think the most relevant pieces are. Yeah, I think that this has been a good example of when not to withering weapons. If I was going for a Dormant Titan, I would want fire and shock resistance, regen. What else? I don't think I need anything here in fire. If other people have fire resistance, all this stuff pretty much doesn't work. Don't need anything here in air. Chill Aura is a terrible, terrible idea on a cold nation. Yes, I had Spirit Sight earlier. I really liked. I gave it up for a scale, just because you can put the whole battlefield into darkness. But I don't think you can get Spirit Sight and Undying on a Titan, because I doubt you're going to be Death and Astral. It'd be nice to have. Oh yeah, Simos. Good point. So yeah, Water, Earth, Nature. That's fair. What kind of Water, Earth, Nature guys do we have? I don't even know what the Titans do. Let's see if there's anybody who starts Water, Earth, Nature. Close. Yeah, for the rainbow, I really like Undying and Spirit Sight on the rainbow. It's worth, Spirit Sight has to be worth 1 scale to you, the way I think I had it drawn up. Which it might be, but I was going low light vision, and I was like halfway there. It's close. Okay, so we'd have to invest somebody in 1 extra path, it looks like, to get Water, Earth, Nature. In which case, who's the best at it? The Great Mother is the largest. Drakina. Or yeah, or -1 Dom. Again, you could definitely go down 1 Dom. I really liked having the extra Dominion. 1, we have we're cold-blooded, so you really can't let other people push into you with like cold skills, and you can recruit. You're gonna want to recruit, I think, a lot of your sacreds, and you can recruit them from any fort. So having the extra dom, I think, helps a lot. Poison cloud versus having a bunch of dogs, which give out extra attacks. I don't know if these go away when you give her a weapon, though. Let's just pretend this is it. So we want that. We want this. Dormant. We need at least 1 point of water. So I want Fire Shock, regen. I need a bunch of Dom. Ditch this, ditch this, ditch this. So you could do something like this. This would do Simos. Your scales are reasonable. You have all the key bits. Like, your income is definitely down. Like, it's gonna hurt more to get stuff. But, you know, if you're alive, you can still get stuff. And if you're dead, you're dead. Could also do it like this instead or something. Kind of waste it. You got 2 death. Lets you make the staff get up to 3 death. You have high astral. This would be enough to break you into high death. Really expensively through rings and stuff, but it would do it. And you need to give her construction gear, construction 2 stuff, so you gotta make sure to get that researched. You can make a lot of different gear. Yeah, I'm trying to decide her versus the Great Mother had better. What if we do the Great Mother? 7. The 1. The other thing, another point though, is we don't necessarily, we have Simos casters. Now our odds at them are not crazy high. Because it's, so an 1/8 of our foreign recruits cast it, and a sixth of our cap recruits cast it, and God forbid you really needed to, all the Slans can cast it. Because it is you cast on something, right? Alt, yeah, Moss Body, area effect 1. So maybe we don't actually need, like, we don't have air, like, on the way this is currently being thought of, we haven't got air or astral, so they're not teleporting on anybody anyway. So they can bring, you know, we can just bring the little buff mage along with us. So that's also possible if we did this. Yeah, 8. I mean, this gives us a lot more scales to play with. And would she and then I think this bless would be workable. Your sacreds are not getting any help killing anything. They have 22 slash pierce damage on a length 3 and then a short range bite. You have access to Strength of Earth, Teotl of Rain. Yeah, he just doesn't have the Earth though, because I feel like if he would be cheaper. I don't know how important it is. You need to be able to cast Foul Vapors, I think. I think that's what the nation is doing early. You know, you're either your first, like if you have a delayed first war, or you know, midway through your first war, maybe even a second war, right? This is what you're doing. So I think your guys need to be able to survive foul vapors being on the field. If that is the case, you need Poison Ward, Area Effect 15. How many nature gems do we get for free? We do have one nature gem. So you could cast Poison Ward. Although it makes, if you're casting like several Poison Wards, right, it makes each fight start to get very expensive. If you weren't doing regen, what else would we do? Just like from an incarnate perspective that sort of goes with Blood Bond. But that's best with regen, not without it. Bark Skin, I think, will not help us, right? Because we already have a lot of protection. I don't think it stacks. I think it would just give us like +1 or something. Berserker is not a good idea. We don't have any luck. Fate Weaving is a thing, but I think it's expensive. I'm not sure what else if we're going for a Titan, I'm not sure what else we would do besides research. We could also go for, the cheeky play of naming our god the Titan of something. And then it not being a Titan. Teattle of Rain. Okay, let's see. Water 4, Earth 5, and 4, Blood 4. So we're doing Fire Shock probably. We're not. It's true, we don't need a ton of incarnate stuff. We're not doing Unholy Weapons. I've already played with an Unholy Weapons Bless once, and that's already too many times. I won a game with an Unholy Resist Bless. Yeah, this is probably, let's see. Point-wise, yeah, it's a lot more points. We wanted to have sort of an awkward amount. Yeah, we need to drop... Ugh, 6 points is killer. Alright, this 29 leftover points is hurting my soul. This does have all the resistance. I don't know how important cold resistance is. Oh, yes. There's my partner in Unholy Weapons Crime. He somehow convinced me to take an Unholy Weapons Bless. That was it. Nothing else. And we won that game. As I was busy trying as we made so many attempts to throw the game too. We managed to trip over the finish line. Okay, so this does have all the resists. Let's see. Yeah, I think we need the water. The points are super awkward. If you just had the water for the caster, and you didn't care about the, like for the moss body, you could get like something like this, which I think this is reasonable as well. But I don't know if anybody in the chat has any experience with this, right? We have moss body casters, and nothing that we're looking at teleports. So I'm not sure how critical it is that we actually have a moss body chassis. Well, we can't do just 3 points though, right? Like, from like a scales perspective, yeah, we could do just minor and defense. Agreed. I think that's better than the full resistance, but I still find the scales to be very awkward. Or, I mean, it's a lot of points. It's just an unfortunate amount. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, I think this is doable. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of these that are obviously I think a lot of these are very doable. Um, what do we can't fit anything else in here. Ugh. But it is nice. We'd still use blood fecundity to get up to 2 growth, which is reasonable. I guess the real question also is just how good are these titans at saving our lives? The moss body should be ready on turn 12. Yes. So when we just did that last expansion testing, right? We ended on turn 12. We'd recruited. I'd have to go and check. They definitely. You're playing the odds a little bit. But okay, so yeah. First of all, yes, it wouldn't be a little guy, right? But at an absolute minimum, you have the Slan, right? You're always going to have a Slan by turn 12. They could cast Moss Body and retreat just as well as anybody else. Obviously, that is a horrific nightmare of a scenario. But yes, you have it. If you are really unlucky, right? And these are 1 out of 6 and 1 out of 8. So you got to be a little lucky, but that's a good question. 4. So they're going to fatigue. I mean, they're eventually going to get themselves in some amount of trouble. Now, in this one, they have Blood Surge, which will help. But no reinvigoration. I think on this guy though, I prefer. Oh no, it still doesn't quite. Yeah, I would rather do something like this on this guy and just leave the water out of it. Water doesn't have, right, there aren't as many big cold spells that are going to give us problems, particularly early. By the time we have that, we can cast a lot of cold resistance stuff all over. Plus, we want to be doing our best to fight in as much heat as possible, which tends to mitigate some of the cold stuff. Yeah, it's definitely a die roll, but we have a backup. Yeah. I think we don't need Cymos on our Titan. I think we can get away without it. Is there anything? There's nothing good in death, right? Again, like we'd like to have a death caster. But there's also there's nothing in death that we'd be getting like a lot of Undying or something, which is fine. It's good. Like I like Undying, but it just doesn't necessarily matter that much for this kind of thing. So if we skip Cymos, we're back potentially on an Earth Nature. So this person's got Earth Nature Blood. This one's just Earth Nature. Any other Earth Natures out here? No. So this one, we did this. Fire shock resistance. We went for reinvigorate. We're counting on regen as our way of getting out of some amount of jams. So she costs more. We're going all the way up for regen. The Great Mother. I mean, yeah, you need a plan. I agree. And that's the question is, do we yes. I agree we need a plan. And I don't know that I have a plan. So I have never taken a Titan Pretender before. Dagon can do it. Dagon will save us. He feels a little bit chaosy to me. Not part of the great plan. He's also only size 5, although maybe that's not a problem early. He does have all the slots. It's funny, he doesn't really look like the rest of the Titans, but yeah, he actually does have all the slots. And he's got more protection. Good MR. Oh, when he eats people. Nice. So anyway, does this scale up if you make him larger? Yeah, I mean if you like Simos a Dagon and send him into put like a black steel full plate or something on him. He's got water, which I don't care as much about. Yeah, just for personal regen. And then we've got our Fire Shock. We've got our defense and our miner. We have no poison plan, which I don't like. I want to have a poison. I want to be able to cast Foul Vapors on my army. And I don't. Let's see if we give up one of these. We have a poison plan. We've got our resistances. Yeah. I mean, this guy could do it. Could make it happen. And then, so construction 2 gear. What are we handing out here? I don't like how when I click it, it all goes away. He's not going to have an AoE weapon. He's going to have just basic stuff. Should be in hush. I feel like really to be confident in a Titan, I would want to like test it against what people are doing, but I don't have a lot of experience with obviously these nations. Let's see let's as a quick aside, how many nations that I'm playing against do we think can or would want to rush me? So we're playing against the Dark Elves. Their only sacred is Sacred Infantry. Yeah, black steel full plate. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. They've got these Dread Knights. Look hard to mass. I don't know. I guess, and they've got. I'm not like immediately. I feel like our infantry and stuff can manage against the. They have a double Poison Blade Sacred, but they have no prot. Yeah, it's like 32 protection. Yeah, I mean that'll do it. I don't think we're getting rushed by. Is anybody? I don't know if anybody's more experience. I don't think we're getting rushed by the Dark Elves. I think that we certainly could get black. I don't remember which one of these we're against. I'm not sure what the difference is. I think it's this one. I assume the orcs are rushy. Yep, Khorne and the ogres. Both are liable to rush. Yeah. Ogres especially. Alright, let's see. What are the ogres liable to rush us with? What kind of magic do we think we can... So they've got big ogre guys. 22 damage. Low prot, low defense. This guy's more prot. We can potentially, one thing I was sort of spitballing earlier is that we can actually cast Destruction against some people who have high protection because we don't care about it quite as much. We have a lot of natural protection. These guys have some natural protection too, but also my computer kind of doesn't like some of the Warhammer sprites. Oh, okay. I don't know which one there's. Does this got Pirate? I'm going to click on their Sacred when I get the chance. My computer's freezing up. No, Rec Limited. This one, maybe? Okay. Ooh, yeah, 221 damage attacks. Like, so 221 damage attacks if they take strength on this, right? Like even with our 32 protection, I guess Simos plus 32 protection is enough. Maybe. These guys have 19 protection. Although a lot of it's on their head. And this stuff's all made of iron, so we could hit them with destruction and then just try and trade them to death, right? They're size 3, they each are 2 attacks. We can put 6 attacks in a square. And we're swinging back for 20 plus. Oh, you're right, they do have Berserker. And they read Blood Bond. Yeah. That makes sense. And they have Dark Vision. They cost 90 gold though. Seems like a lot of gold. Like how many of these can they run at us with? On if they're gonna have Blood Bond, they're gonna need to be awake. Okay, all right. Dagon can take it then. Like if that god needs to be awake for them to have Blood Bond, 90 gold sacred. I just wonder if we couldn't like mass them down or something. But yeah, I guess if they're like Blood Bond regen, it's a lot of prot to get through. It's pretty scary. Pretty scary. Let's just as a little random aside, see how well they would do. So Blood Bond, regen. I mean, I don't know if they usually take regen or if they take something else. Wake. You need to have some amount of Dominion. That's usually free to dump. That looks free to dump. I don't know what their mages look like. It's Blood, Fire, Earth, Nature. Get a bonus from Blood Sacrificing. Okay, they have Turmoil regardless of scales, so we'll set them up on Turmoil. Cheap Temples. My game is lagging out again. This is why I'm not clicking on something. This is how they're really going to beat me, is I can't look at their units without my computer dying. This happens to be on a couple of these nations. The Dark Elves are one. This is one. But, like, I have no problem running it for, like, Itza. I've never had this, so I don't know precisely what the issue is. Okay. No, I looked at it again. Quick. All right. Let's just, for the sake of argument, put them on Regen Blood Bond and, like, some strength. Just to be, like, extra scary about it. And we'll say these are what they go with. I have no idea if this is reasonable for them, but, you know, just humor me. And we're going to create Dagon. Just as our go-to. Dagon's gonna, let's see, we want this. Dormant Dagon. 5 for Fire Shock. Defense, Minor Cold. Let's see, so we could get up to poison. I do think we need poison resistance of some kind in our bless here. I don't think we can get away without it. All right, let's for the moment call this our bless. These are totally workable scales. Dagon needs a hat. All right, good point. Okay, let's get Dagon all up in here. Let's go add in our debug mod. No spells. So we're going to give him a black steel full plate. We're going to give him a hat. Dagon test. So we've got the ogres. And we've got the Dagon. Load up our ogre. Load up our Dagon. Okay. So we need to wait 12 turns or whatever for our person to arrive. In the meantime, we're hoping to research personal regeneration, which is an enchantment. Yeah, so we need enchantment. And moss body would be the other one, ideally. And then we'll just throw it on blood so that our guys don't go two-hand with the research. We'll just throw this on repeat recruitment. And then you two forge a... Okay, we do have it turned off. So we are going to need to also get to construction 2. Blood magic. And the gold tooth... We're not going to deal with any of their magic, so let's just get them a priest who can lead them. Okay, the priests are terrible. Who has their best... Oh, gosh. Who has their best leadership? Have they got like a... Is this like a rhino pulling a cart? I like that. Okay, Dagon has Sphere 5, so we just gotta outlast them. We could potentially... That actually could work really well too, right? We have a lot of stealthy options. We could potentially cut off retreat routes. Alright, come on, game. Let me in. What do we think is a reasonable number of these for them to come running at me on turn 12 with? Like... So I think this has 6, so theoretically that's like 60. But they probably can't actually... Like, these are 90 gold a pop. You couldn't ever actually afford that many. Alright, let's host. Okay, let's turn our guys off of research. Oh, look at that. See? See? No problem. First try. Easy. Okay. So we finished all our stuff, so let's go ahead and forge. We were going to forge a black steel full plate. Oh, so I guess we don't need construction necessarily. I guess we'll go black steel helmet. If we got to higher level, if we got to construction 2, let's see. He doesn't need a magic weapon. An ice lance? Does he want... This is a long weapon, right? Does it help to give him a repelling weapon? Like, is an ice lance good? Or like an enchanted spear? I must admit, I don't have a ton of familiarity. 30 of them? Alright, we'll test him against 30. Does he need a... Let's see, enchant... I don't think I even noticed this. Oh! Touch of Madness short. Okay. Fear, poison resistance, and inspirational. I didn't even know we had access to that item. Right. Yeah, they need to be... I mean... Let's just say that he's got a... I don't want him to get over encumbered. Let's try this. Let's give him a spear. Yeah. Oh, I can't give him an ice lance? But a pike is maybe nice. Okay. Does he not have a hand or something? Oh, it breaks. Don't mind me. Yeah. Pike. Yeah, let's try a pike. Alright, so let's go. We're going to go hat, pike. And we're basically just going to host for a bit until we think he's come online. There he is. Okay. Pike, hat, thing. So this is Astral, which is very doable. Earth and more Earth. Earth 2 can actually be a little bit of a challenge. He might have to cast it himself. Our only Earth 2 is a 1 out of 3 random on a Slan. So that is worth potentially noting. Put him in the back. So he would cast probably personal regen. We have some conjuration, but I'm going to assume we won't have it. He mostly just doesn't want to die. So he can cast his own Moss Body. Just, again, assume the worst. We don't have our thing. Yeah, Ice Lance is not okay. He could do Stone Skin. Or Iron Skin would be better. Yeah, Iron Skin. Okay, let's just try that. Attack closest. All right, get in there. Okay, so the Dominion would be very important for him as well. We're probably going to assume, though, that they're attacking me. So it makes sense that they're fighting in at least a little bit of my Dominion. Probably more. Okay, yeah, we don't need 78 of the... Oh, I should have made somebody a prophet. Enlarge. Okay, we'll add enlarge. Host. Okay, so let's get like 30 of these guys. 20, 30. Let's just go a little ham. Let's go 40. Let's see how this goes. And we're just gonna do Divine Blessing. Brain bashing is gonna get. He is size 5. So it's yeah, we can add that to his. Did he get assassinated? Ah, the large spider. Classic large spider. All right, do we think enlarge is more important than Iron Skin? Not sure. Let's see what his fatigue looks like. That's what I'm kind of most worried about. All right, you defend. Let's see how this goes. I think he won. So this is 2 or 3 of my candles. So he's at plus 23 hit points. That's not insane. Yeah, the spider is going for it, right? The spider is not afraid. All right, personal regen, Moss Body, Iron Skin. So he can get off the full script, and he's at 51 fatigue. I don't know that he has any particular... So he's bopping people. They're hitting him. He's getting hit. He is getting hit every once in a while. But he's regenerating through it very easily. Now, they're not... He's not killing anybody either, I don't think. Oh, no, he's killed a couple of them. Oh, he can't... Let's see. Can he eat people? He shouldn't be able to eat anybody. Let's see, what is he doing to people? Dagon hit him in the head with an enchanted pike. Oh, look at that. Okay. Because he does kind of the eating motion. It looks like whether I guess he's actually eating anybody or not. I mean, they are clearly not killing him. Oh, they popped Moss Body. Now it's a lot more dangerous. Now he's starting to take some hits. Down to 146. He's got an affliction. 150. They are not running, that's for sure. At least not yet. These guys? Oh, they're berserk, of course, so they're never gonna run. Yeah, they're never gonna run. They're berserkers. Down to 85. Oh, okay, now the leader got in the front. I don't think that we could really rely on that, though. Yeah, great sword of sharpness. We can try that one. That requires construction, a little bit more construction. The rest of the kit, right, is construction 0. I mean, we were hoping for repels, but I guess when you're this surrounded, maybe that doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, we killed the leader. Okay. It was a little dicey. This is before Temper Flesh. That's true. But we probably needed to work before Temper Flesh, right? If it's turn 12, if we need to be able to research construction and some enchantment, like it might be even dependent on whether or not we sort of got lucky with you know, what our random research is. But we do, I mean, we have good research. It's probably doable. So what affliction did we get? Limp. Okay, that's fine. Let's try giving him a great sword of sharpness. Yeah. Ah, he was recuperated anyway. Does he have recuperate? Why is he recuperated? Unclear. Right, get back in there. The Gold Tooth have lost their profit. All right, we're gonna try and send in the Debug Sensei and have him not kill everybody, which is always a bit dicey. Let's. He loves to kill people. Nope. All right, 40 units, because he's just gonna do Divine Channeling and then retreat. No, wait, Divine Channeling. Hold on. Divine Blessing. Not do Divine Channeling. And then retreat. You stay behind troops. These guys attack. Okay, let's try this one again. This one ended sooner. So this is still no Temper Flesh. There, now he's a big boy. Okay, so now with the Great Sword of Sharpness, definitely is doing more. Oh yeah, he's whacking people. Lost his Moss Body though. Although even without Moss Body, he's mostly holding up here. Yeah, it's still at 168. Now I don't know how reasonable this you know bless is or isn't on these guys. You know, they have Regen Blood Bond and like 3 strength. They could definitely go more heli and get more strength. Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job chopping him through. The other question. Yeah, I mean, it's certainly doing better than when he had a pike. We also again, so he doesn't have. He's gonna win this one. It looks like. Oh, he got really close to dying. Down to 39. He's fatiguing out, which is bad. Yeah, we could try and keep his fatigue down. If I don't know if there's more risk to him, we can try it. Back. Post it again. Does Warhammer have like capital recuperation on or something? Because he's immediately healing all his stuff, and I don't see recuperation on him. Let's try it without enlarge, see how it goes. Get in there. Oh, we're running out of commanders. We need a new one. No, I looked at their hero menu. He also, so he's, oh, that's a good idea. That's probably what it is. That makes sense too for the unit. Okay. Come on, computer. I honestly, I don't know. I have a good computer. I don't know why it hates some of these sprites and not the others, but it has a really hard time with the ogres and the dark elves. Do we think that these things are killier than what Khorne has access to, or is that going to be even worse? Yeah, he only needs to win one fight. No, I agree. I don't think him getting afflicted is like our biggest problem or anything. We have a lot of blood hunters. If we really needed to, we could always empower him in blood and then eat the afflictions away. Yes. Oh, I've got the echidna, whatever. Okay. Squig face, stay behind troops. Yeah. Alright, so this is the no enlarge version. Only 36 fatigue. Looks like these guys are large enough. Oh, look at him just chop through people. Yeah, let's wait. Let's see what roll. Okay, there's Moss Body. I want to see what roll they need to pop Moss Body. Okay, does it say? Let's see. There's the Moss Body. You hit Dagon in the arm. A damage roll. Okay, so it's 20. It's a 26 versus a 34. But it is slash damage. The damage goes up, and then Moss Body negates 15. So it's pretty darn. I don't have my whole big chart up, but it seems like it's unlikely, but definitely not impossible because it's broken every single time. I think we would need to expect it to break. And again, the scary thing is, like, what if he has more strength? What is this? I told you to stay behind troops. 129. He is fatigued out. They routed. I mean, he's fine again. I mean, it definitely seems viable. It's key. I mean, he's winning. He also he doesn't have, because he doesn't have astral or air, right? He's not cloud trapezing in on anybody or teleporting. So there's no reason he couldn't fight with the army. Except that he might get routed. Should be bad. Yeah. I mean, I would definitely say this. We have a fortress. That's new. He definitely is capable of winning this fight. I wonder if the other Titans are as capable. Just to, you know, to take a look. So, like, we tried. What was the other one? We thought about Teodol of Rain. Because he had water for Moss Body, but we could, again, if we were willing to say that we're going to bring a Moss Body guy with us. We don't necessarily need water. We want nature. We want earth. Are our nature earth options. The Great Mother would give us more scale stuff. I want like a nature earth blood. Or nature, earth, not blood. Nature, earth, death. Don't get one of those. Let's just try on this person just for, you know, giggles. So it'd be fire, shock resistance, poison resistance. Low, oops, no, I don't also need minor. I mean, we could get minor, but this one I'd probably get blood surge. What if on this one we did regen? And blood bond. What do our scales look like? So we definitely lost another couple points of scales. Let's see. This woman has no head. I don't know. She can't wear a helmet then. Let's see how this goes. If she has no head, can she still get hit in the head? Alright, so same research as before. Alt 3, enchantment 2, construction 2. Oh, and we need to be recruiting little guys to get a moss body caster. Yeah, okay, yeah, no head hits. As long as there are no head hits. Over on the Gold Truth side, we're going to try not to get bugged out. She is not awake yet. We do have some very killy troops. That would be we could try that too. My original thought was yeah, is I suppose greedy. So let me come back to that. I could check all the locations under HP. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So like in this case, we actually have not gotten a water one yet, although she's also not online yet. Now we have one. Okay. Oh, there she is. Okay, so let's try and forge again. She doesn't need a helmet. We were doing black steel full plate, and we had a great sword of sharpness. She obviously doesn't need a helmet. And she's going to cast... Uh-oh, we got extra spells on here. She is going to cast personal regen. Iron Skin. She's already large. What was the other one we were casting? Bark Skin would be worth like a point or something. Do we have another one we were casting? Oh, yeah, Moss Body, but that's going to be cast by somebody else. So we would send her in with our little dude, whose only job is to cast Moss Body and then retreat. And we would position ourselves at the back. Here, let's see. HP. Don't see anything about hit locations here. So it says she has standard hit locations. So she has a head, but no head slot. I assume that means that this is not going to go well for her. Yeah, he's got super high stuff. I agree. I think she will probably die. We're just testing it out. You know, for science. Although I think that her little buddy ran off already. Get back in there. And then over here, get a profit. Who did I make the profit? Bog. 36. Yeah, I expect she's gonna die, but we're just gonna take it. She died super fast. Yeah. Okay, where's my guy though? Okay, so she got popped, but we don't appear to have had our guy with her, so that doesn't help. All right, bring back Call God. I have no idea how long it takes them to call God. I assume they're pretty quick about it. Yeah. Now, where? Oh my God, he's hiding. Ah! Okay. Let's try this one again. This time we will not have them hide. Goofball. Do not hide. Yeah, still obviously death. Oh, now he's in the wrong spot. And he missed. Alright. Oh, she retreated this time at least. Alright. Let's... What are you doing? Stand next to her. I guess I grabbed the wrong stink last time. Skink. Cast it twice. Yeah, he definitely feels like a Skaven. She still have a script? Okay. Alright. Here we go. Get back in there. That one lasted a lot longer. I think she still probably died, but... Do not cast Moss Body on a serpent. There you go. Now she has more Dominion bonus hit points right now. No, she's got the Great Sword and the Black Steel. She's actually doing pretty well. Maybe there's probably a lot fewer of these guys though. There goes Moss Body though. Now she might be in trouble. Down to 124. 71, yeah, and she's routed. Oh, no worries. Alright, yeah, she is not going to be successful here. She's totally fatigued out, and she's about to die. There we go. Okay. Alright, she does not work. So, yeah, I think that's right. They have a... She has snakes for a head. Alright, she does not work. But the other one does. Dagon works. Maybe that's... Maybe we have to do that. See, we're doing all of this, right? And then we're going to get in the game, and I'm just going to not start near any of these people. I'm just going to nap them on. It's going to be fine. I'm going to be like, where are the rest of my crap? What did we do? We did this. We have to 4 on this. Yeah. Scaled games are just a lot more fun. Like, how do we... Let's... If we go back... Because we can raid and stuff around them, right? We have stealthy units. If we had to fight them... So let's just, okay, so let's say turn 12. Let's look at the game we just did. And let's see sort of what we have available. Lizards. No, not lizard luck. Lizard testing. I think this is the one we just did. Alright, now we're super spread out in this game. And this is obviously a completely unrealistic amount of money, but we also haven't spent it all. We have 50... Wait. We have 28 of our sacreds. Getting more. In terms of casting, we've got one Slan, and we have access to... Actually, we have a couple Slan. Although one would probably not be. Only one's going to be with any given army. We have 2 little casters, and we have some amount of soldiery. Again, our troops are all really far away right now. We'd be ready to try and hit them with various maneuvers to get them distracted. I think that certainly against 30 of them, I think that we're going to die real fast with what we have available here. But we've got 30 guys. We'll say we've got 20 or 30 cavalry sort of around. Do it on a PD dump. Okay. Just see exactly how badly this goes. We are the good lizards, and they are the evil. Okay. This one. The great part about if you get killed early is that you can just go play another game. Oh, I didn't turn on debug mod. Let's turn the debug. So the problem... Yeah, that's fine. Let's go turn the debug mod back on. Apparently that wasn't what I typed last time. Alright, Itza. Ogres. Okay, so we said we were going to get, let's see, we need to start with a Slan, and then we had 2 priests. We could probably get up to 4, but for now, like if we really needed to fight, I think we could realistically get 4. But 2 of these anyway, and then we're going to have like 20 cav. So we've got 2 of these, get the cav. Like I said, I had like 30 of these. And then we need to go get, oh, we need to get gold tooth started as well. Back, actually don't go back. Lab. So we're gonna get a handful of those too. The Saurus guy. One. 2. Okay. I think that this is not an unreasonable thing to think that we would have 18 cavalry. It's probably about right. We've got some 20 plus lizards. That's probably too many. We've got our Slan. Oh, I didn't do any research. I was researching in my prior ones something like this. Was my intention. And then what we're going to do with this, at least the original sort of plan, was to go Slan is going to be doing, well, hopefully somebody else would do Divine Blessing. If we got up to Enchantment 3, which we were not at yet. So we won't use that. I think the Slan was basically just going to be doing Sulfur Haze. And then we were going to have our little lizards contribute whatever they could. This guy would do Moss Bodies. These are not the Communion slaves of the elements unlock. We're going to put everybody into lines. Don't care about those. Little lizards. Slan attendants. Okay. And we said there's going to be 25 PD, so we're going to... Given that there's 25 PD, right? If we're assuming we're fighting in our capital, my concern now is that the PD wipes our stack due to fear. Let's move up a little bit. Hold. And the Gold Tooth have 30 dudes. Did I make anyone a profit? I did not. Which, so 30 of these guys is still a huge amount of gold, right? 90 gold per, that's 3,000 gold. 4, 7. So 27 units. It's like turn 12. I don't know. It's doable, probably. Blessing. Alright, let's see how badly this goes. It was over really fast, which means we did not win. Pretty sure. Ooh, we have militia. Okay, we're mostly not buffing anybody useful, which I think was to be expected. Sulfur Haze should be going out. Alright, so they're standing in the Sulfur Haze. Like, yes, they are all gonna spread it around and stuff, but we've stopped doing Sulfur Haze. He's now instead doing garbage spells. Okay, so they won. They lost 18 guys. We lost a priest in all of our units. It's not great. It's not great. Alright. It was not good enough. The Slan... I wonder if he was on... I mean, yeah, it's good. Like, we killed a lot of them. And nobody big died. But, like, I don't know how many troops we're going to have left. Like, I think if you could convince the ogre player... Yeah, I think this is... So each of these guys is 50. Each of these is 90. It's about twice as many. Temple guards are 35. So this is very comparable gold for gold, with the exception of the fact that the Slann is insane. Um, it's like yeah, this is not. I think if you could tell the ogre player, like convince them that this was going to be the result of this fight, I don't think that they would attack you. Right? This is too like this is all their sacreds. They would lose a huge portion of them. Um, I also wonder if you could get if the Slann was on advancing cast, just because he stopped casting useful spells, which part of the problem might be that with this mod, right, you can't use like any of the AI mods. Because let's throw another one at him, right? So this is, let's go another 24 something lizards, bunch of lizard cav. Let's move our gold tooth off. Mix in the poison skinks, okay? Like the little, let's see, we get the skink hunters and the blowpipe. Poison is great. That's what I was trying with the thingy. Yeah, skink blowpipe. Yeah, that's our only poison one. Let's try it. And these guys are recruit anywhere, so you could absolutely mess some people up with that. Like, oh shoot, I did not mean to do that. They recruit anywhere, so you could have quite a lot of those. What did I called this? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, you could have a lot of little skinks mixed in. Each one of these is only 5 gold, and they recruit out of forests. So it's a good call. Let's try it out. Toast. It's okay. So we've got, again, a good number of our sacred troops. Bunch of cav. We need another priest. Try again. So we got another priest, and I mean, this, honestly, we could have this many skinks. Like, the skinks are super inexpensive. They have garbage range, so they're going to need to hold and fire. Or really fire and keep distance, actually. Closest enemy. I mean, yeah, 50 of these at 5 gold a pop, right? It's only 250 gold. It's like 4 ogres. Stay behind troops. Okay, so we've got this guy. Oh, let's see. Swap you out. We need to add you. And we're going to put him on advancing cast spells. Just because I want to see if that helps at all. The Gold Tooth Tribe gets another crack at us. $26 of them. Now, obviously, they would probably, I don't know what kind of research they're going to have. If they have some kind of a wake thing, they could have a lot of scary research too. But, you know, I guess let's for now worry about what we can. And again, we're going to put 25 PD to simulate a cat fight. Alright, let's see what we got. And like, yeah, I think if we can get to, if somebody's slow on this, you know, if we get to foul vapors, I think that's going to make a huge difference. Let's hope we don't kill the commander here. Okay, good. Yes, yes, good, my Slann. Hit them with the sulfur haze. That is what I wanted you to do the first time. How are our little skinks doing? They're trying. What are you doing? Right, Slann is moving. He's still casting garbage. He cast a fire shield. Alright, now he casts sulfur haze off script. Strength of Gaia. Healing light. God, his spell choice is terrible. But we did win. We lost 22 Sars Cav and 19 Temple Guard. I think this is holdable. Like, especially, you know, even with that first fight, right? Yeah, they won, but they had so little left. We should have another fort going. And we can recruit sacreds out of our other fort and stuff. Like, they can't siege us down with 20 guys. I don't know. It seems holdable. And I'm a really greedy person, so I feel like I might go with my super greedy build. and get killed by Khorne, who we didn't test against. But we sort of have every piece of magic in the toolbox that's there if we can get enough research done. Skinks with flaming arrows. Like, again, if we get to enchantment 5, we're golden. We're so golden. Like, I think we're gonna be in really good shape if we can get there. Like, Foul Vapors is just gonna chew through so much stuff, and we have a lot of recruit anyway, like even bad recruiting or stuff, right? We could potentially throw out there at the front before the Foul Vapors kills it and let the enemy get themselves chewed up. If we get to 5, we can start spawning additional sacreds as needed. The other thing we could try, which we didn't try, is actually probably worth a go as well. Here, we can continue. The Croxigar have 0 resource cost, or like 1, and have pretty high damage. Let's move back. Let's try replacing some amount of our cavalry with Croxigar. Let's get the Gold Tooth. New. We'll send their hero in, why not? Okay, 50's too many. 29, better. Back to Itza. So let's try, instead of a lot of our, let's go back. Yeah, 21. We're definitely going to have some cavalry from our expansion. And let's throw some Croxigar at the problem. So this is 100 units. Hold. Did we lose? I guess I can't really see anymore. 1 mage, 2 mage, 3 mage, blue mage. Okay. Gold Tooth, get in there. Croxigar are not very well positioned. They're kind of trapped behind people, but they have big weapons. They should theoretically be able to really put the hurt on these guys. And they attack for 30 damage. Oh, did we kill their commander? Oh, shoot. Alright, now that part is probably less realistic. Although, actually, depending on what their commander situation is, it may not be that unrealistic. Like, if we just have a whole line of cheap skink cavalry, or cheaper skink cavalry, we might just be able to send the line at attack rear, and have enough of them get there that it works out. Although our front line in this case looks like it definitely evaporated. So we lost this one, even when we killed their guy, and we lost all of our troops. Okay. Wonder what went so much worse this time. I guess just our mix of troops was not as effective. Okay, so the Croxigar don't really appear like they are the answer. Did you just cast Flaming Hands? God, he has the worst spell choices. Okay. Alright, still, this one didn't work, but I think we just make a lot of Saurus cavalry. We can make little blow pipe guys. And we try. Alright, so I'm gonna actually go ahead, I think, and stop about here. Well, I'm gonna go look at what again I'm hoping to submit with. That's true. Blood Bond is like, you get there, you don't. The lance charges from our cav probably make a big difference. Yeah, you definitely need critical mass. So again, this is my current thoughts. I have probably another day or so to submit, so I'm gonna sleep on it. But I like this. Is just this one definitely helps us go longer with the the MR, the reinvigoration, all gonna be really helpful if we survive the early game. Pretty great, good scales. So I think this is where I'm currently leaning, but the Titan is more responsible, but I'm just not a responsible person. When I'm trying to play an online video game. Okay. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining me and throwing out suggestions. Hopefully we won't get put in into a mix of getting immediately murdered. We get those extra scouts, so we get to find all our neighbors faster. So maybe we can try and get some good Diplo on. But we'll see. All right. Anyways, thank you everybody for joining me, and I appreciate it. Have a great day.